Всем привет, ребята! Вы на канале Ричи Morra Play. Итак, у нас Disco Elysium. Продолжаем. Так, последний раз мы нашли проклятый подвал в прошлой серии и поговорили с мистером... Как его там зовут? Толстячком, короче. Эврар Дюбуа, по-моему. Что-то такое. Так, что тут у нас? Так, направляемся обратно. Если мне память не подводит, честно вот признаюсь, я не играл целый почти месяц. Да, видеоролик я недавно закинул, но он у меня долго в архиве лежал. Сейчас маленько нужно вспомнить. Так, задачи здесь, да, у нас. Так, ага, закройте шлюз в среду. Ага, только в среду, да? Так, откройте дверь для Еврара. Так, это я помню. Так, у Манана, да? Манана. Так, хорошо. Так, кажется, мы отсюда вернулись. Так, давай. Беги. Так, в этой комнате нам ничего не нужно. Так, ладно, не успел нажать. Вау, это что такое? Что это сейчас было? Что-то игра прогоняется. Так.
You've been in there, he means. Talked to the boss man too, probably.
So, how'd you like our harbor? It's but a rest area on the... Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye. A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open? Of course, I got you. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. I knew this man was a commie. And it's a good thing you're doing. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whirling in rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. Means we keep out of each other's business.
Okay, but
the janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. None of this mess we're in. This giant...
Так, ладно, не будем
He means he's not going
грузиться.
to tell you cause he doesn't know. But he will shoot his mouth off with you now.
Так. Так, если меня память не подводит, я, кажется, доходил до этого эпизода, когда прежде играл я. Где-то вот в той стороне дверь. Так, стоп.
A sturdy metal. The door rattles. The door rattles again.
Stop banging on the door. I'm not letting any more strangers inside. The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here. No, I already told you. Go check the backyard door. Maybe someone...
Backyard door. There must...
Madame, I assure you, we are real police.
There is no reply.
Так, ладно, нас игнорят.
Hey, up here, Piggo. The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance.
The streets will not flow red.
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C. Ask away, Pigman, but I don't promise to answer.
A brush, an artist. The red splatter is urban expressionism.
I ain't no snitch, Pigstein.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm,
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko. Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words. Have you ever tried your hand at graffiti-o? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff. We rarely see pigs round here, though. Just union cards. And my name's not Mona, so... This place is severely lacking in havoc. Not even the occasional trash can. I thought I'd mix it up, you know. Summon the forces of crime
Хочет
and
немного
social
навести
chaos.
суеты.
With a wall-sized... Yeah? Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me.
She means the opposite.
Watch your back, ungulate.
Ай, сучка. По-другому ее не назовешь просто.
Are you trying to sneak up on me?
Logic error. She's...
Pig's come to take me out. Trying to snuff me out.
If anything, you're afraid she'll take you out one day.
Don't get fucking clever with me, pig. You think you're...
Так, ладно, хрен с ней.
Hey, what's that noise down there?
You see a young man on a balcony nursing a cigarette.
Not looking for any trouble, officer. I don't want to be seen talking to the gendarmerie, if that's okay. I just want to
Don't let him go. This could be your witness. The balcony has a great view of the whole thing.
Is it really that important?
Like a nervous cat.
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run. My name? My name?
That's definitely not...
No, of course not. Could you please lower your voice? I'd even go so far as to say that the view is a little too good, my dear Jean.
We will remove the body as soon as possible.
Oh. You already asked me that.
Wait, is someone else investigating the lynching?
No, not you two. Some more muscular type.
And when did you speak to this more muscular gentleman?
Last week? I don't know. Look.
A downy blanket of white to to cover up the miserable poverty.
You didn't answer the question. What were you?
I had a friend over. It was my Sunday friend.
He doesn't reply, gesturing no with it. Someone hides behind a curtain. Those windows have eyes, and those eyes are watching, spying on you three.
No. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going.
Time to bring out
Ай,
your
ну
secret
ладно,
charm.
ничего.
Tears and begging. Show him your emotional side. Throw yourself before his very...
No, for God's sake, I don't want you to cry. Listen, I really have to go. Good luck with the investigation.
He's gone. No point in running. Tenements like these often have multiple exits. If he doesn't want to talk to us, then he could be a witness. Him or his Sunday friend. There has to be a way of getting inside.
Так, ладно, двигаемся дальше.
This must be it. You knock silently. The upholstery muffles the...
I guess no one is in.
The leather upholstery is worn and rough against your jaw. In
Так, ну нужно же
fact,
убедиться,
it's oddly
что никого
silent in
нет
the
дома.
yard around you. No birds chirp.
Let's be honest. This isn't what I joined the RCM for. But every day tells... Apparently, working with the local union boss to get info on an investigation is not something I'm squeamish about. I mind that the local thug is using the RCM for his busy work. But if this gets us to the bottom... On the other hand, yes, presenting a fabrication is known to get results here and there. You two...
The door is right here. You can just open. You try to be as silent as you can. Finally, there might be important information in the apartment as you hold.
Все, не грузи. Нереально грузит он просто. Так, открытая книга «Тайный мир трости». Солнце на флаге такой красный, что от него почти ощущается тепло.
This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty. This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got its flag.
The tenant is in...
By old-fashioned, he means very right-wing. The flag doesn't seem to mind. It's just a color.
Так, что у нас тут? Рубашка. Давайте глянем. Все одна логика. А, не значит одинаковые, да. А вот это белее. Так. Опа, что это у нас?
A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark-skinned woman, grinning amidst mysterious symbols. A broad shoulder, a little ring. Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you vague. There's something disdainful in the way the curves and lines of it looks like the artist is celebrating diversity. But underneath, he's just making fun of these people. Of course, you slippery bastard. The lieutenant picks up one of the mugs.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
A row of mugs.
Так, ладно, кружки глянули. Ага, это что такое? Неплохо. Так, ну мы в принципе больше ничего не видим. Ну-ка давайте-ка попробуем еще раз.
A row of mugs, a little ring. There's something distinct. It looks like the artist. You ain't gonna change someone's mind, but the lieutenant picks up.
I'm beginning to feel better.
Так, ничего не изменилось, да? Ну ладно, пойдемте тогда отсюда. Сходим к жердяю, доложим ему о том, что мы побывали в этом помещении. Ужасно долгая загрузка. Так. Ага. Так, здесь у нас что может быть? Ух ты. А, шапка бомжовая. Чуть я подумал, что дождевик. Так, здесь что у нас? Денежки.
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
Нет, думаю, бесполезно. Ух ты! А ты кто такой?
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her...
Good afternoon, officers. Joyce Messьe. I represent the board of Uайлд Пайнс, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM. I'm glad to see you here. I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter...
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical...
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Uайлд Пайнс group. Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Uайлд Пайнс and return with Uайлд Пайнс counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates. Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first...
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens, no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and...
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Every worker, a member of...
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker, a member of the board. Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Uайлд Пайнс group makes a decision about anything, just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Uайлд Пайнс. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Uайлд Пайнс group. I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position. A hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags...
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the bowyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work.
This checks out.
Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union. The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the union refuses to? If they were organized by Uайлд Пайнс or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you.
It's implied. She's open to discussing this matter with you at a later...
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Эврар Клэр. Мистер Дюбуа, точно, это же мы, по-моему. Да, он еще постоянно его разговаривал. Мистер Дюбуа.
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood. He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar. Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues. The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into a
mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, we are forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions and your opinion, detective, if I may ask. I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is... Of course, officer. I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. End of story. Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Uайлд Пайнс suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things...
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Of course. How else can I help? Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi, from Precinct 57, and this is my colleague from Precinct 41, Detective Dubois. I'm afraid Harry doesn't have his badge at the moment.
Oh, and what happened to yours, Detective? I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please. Oh, dear. I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine...
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't
She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement. Feelings will guide the way.
I assure you, it is no small matter for me either. We all share the responsibility for deciding...
She's silent. The wind flaps the sail above her.
Officer. You know, I don't mean to sound cold, but if you want...
You're doing it. Despite your own best efforts, you're still getting it.
I'll be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify... The Union is conducting drug trade out of the harbour. It's an open secret in Martinez. Surely it must not come as a... Or you can find your badge. which honestly...
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
Да, блин, сейвиться надо. Я забываю сейвиться.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and you know, not volunteer. This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or
Maybe this is all her plan. She might have heard about you.
Так, ладно, потом. Потом мы с ней...
Wow, you work hard. I know you're...
Так,
Oh, yes, you hustle. You're a provider. Oh, yeah. Look at yourself. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are. That's just what it's like. Life and it ain't easy. Sure. Are you rich? That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost... Because of the... Our tax is almost non-existent in the gossip. Every time, 98% of... What are you? This guy's appropriating the emerging Boogie Street...
Вот, блин. Так, мы с ней не договорили.
You're back. Good. It's quite straightforward.
ingredient.
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL and various synthetic psychedelics. Yes. After they...
Uайлд Пайнс seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the union also produces the product?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut. Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the dock workers union. Still.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
Помните, там был дальнобойщик такой, подозрительный чувачок. Один был такой откровенный, наивный, простой, а второй такой вот мутноватый типчик. Что-то он там еще... Он, кстати, по-моему, еще расист.
Unlikely, officer. I'm talking about the lorries. Once the ingredients reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of...
How convenient that they're stranded like beached...
Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
Uncovering union secrets could also give you an upper hand when dealing with them.
Yes? Excellent.
Так, по-любому
It may
принимаем.
come to nothing. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
Так, ладно.
You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare? Oh, come on now. He has his uses. Corruption. That's how he's...
The position of my unusual colleague does not reflect official policy. I hope you...
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt... How could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious?
Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what she has to say about these things.
Oh.
The lieutenant looks at you, and you can swear he's able to contain the anger and surprise.
Unconventional police officers sometimes lose their guns. They then go around and tell people about this, to gauge their reaction.
Incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a... Ah, yes.
Please don't get him in a loop. If he gets in a loop, it will last forever.
That's wrong. You don't get into loops.
Of course. Thank you for the advice. I'm glad you were here to...
The lieutenant will be more...
Of course, detect. Until then, is there anything I can help you with?
Is what you want to say, but it... Look at that lady. Take a gander. Why, yes. Tucked away under that sturdy green raincoat, almost rustic in its simplicity, a silk shirt and matching scarf around her gentle throat, while dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes. Red. These are the kind eyes of the rich man, within reason.
Так,
You're
ладно.
poor. Poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too... Maybe you could ask her for some stock tips.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask. Of course, detective.
Так, в принципе, думаю, пока все. Так. Так, ну в этом промежутке времени мы, в принципе, узнали достаточно. Как бы немного прогресс есть. Я особо, честно говоря, не тороплюсь, не стараюсь. Мы же все-таки детективы, мы должны все четко обдумывать. Каждый шаг. Так, ну однозначно, что мы в следующей серии поговорим с Толстяком и Эвраром. Здесь вот стоит грузчики, водители грузовиков. С ними пообщаемся. Так, ну, дальше по ходу дела посмотрим. Ладно, ребята, всем, кто смотрел, ставьте лайки, спасибо. Всем пока.